some of the developments that are expected to take course in the afternoon. Away from that, women and children bear the brunt of war and conflict, mostly instigated by men in society. However, they are often left out of the loop when dialogue for peace is done. This consequently leaves out critical perspectives that could help prevent recurrence. The Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, is seeking to fill this gap by involving women as well as enabling conversations that will foster restoration.
Security Forum here in Nairobi, and I am privileged today to have the Program Manager, Gender Affairs Department, IGAD Secretariat, Amina Farah Maalim, to shed light on the issues of women in conflict and ways that we can work and rope in women more during conflict to ensure that they are participating in conflict resolution. Thank you so much for making the time today.
Thank you for having me. So this forum is anchored on United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 on women, peace and security. In 2011, we had a Women and Peace conference hosted by IGAD to bring together the women of the region so they can discuss their challenges and the complexes of women, talk about the issues women face in situations of security and peace processes, and how to best engage them such that we have a more inclusive approach to addressing peace and security issues. During that conference, one of the key recommendations was to have an IGAD Women, Peace and Security Forum. Yes. To have a more systematic, coherent, cooperative approach to addressing women, peace and security issues in the IGAD region for IGAD member states. And to also have a platform where they can share their challenges, best practices around that, and work together to have a more inclusive approach to peace and security.
Well, someone might be listening at home and wondering why women as a section on their own. You know, conflict is conflict, it affects everyone, but there's this focus that IGAD is putting on women and their role in conflict resolution, prevention, and all the aspects of conflict. Speak to us about the gap that was there before these initiatives were set up.
If you look at African cultures, naturally, across the continent, we are patriarchal in nature. Yes. So decision-making has always been seen as the role of men. And if you look at also, that also is very evident in our leadership, political leadership, and, structures across different positions of leadership, even in governments, in regional organizations, in continental organizations, even international in some cases. And so conflict is experienced differently by different groups because of this social, how we have been socialized. Yes. Within the context of the patriarchy. And what happens in most cases is that often the challenges women face are not really captured in these engagements. And women are not on it's their right to be on the table, to be able to be part of these processes and these decisions that affect their day-to-day lives. So we'd have a situation where, there's more men causing conflict. It's affecting more women because, for instance, if you look at Kakuma refugee camp, it's 80% women and children. But then again, the women are not on the table as part of the decision makers.
And by women being on the table, they bring different perspectives, even when it comes to the solutions and the dialogues, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Let's talk about the IGAD region. Of course, in Africa, unfortunately, we do have ongoing conflict. In West Africa, you see all these coups that are happening, destabilizing the situations. We have situations in Central Africa and, of course, the DRC. But in the IGAD region, the hot potato, so to speak, right now is Sudan. Tell us about some of the work that IGAD has been doing, and when it comes to women, what have you been able to witness?
In the context of women, peace and security, what we've been doing is to build the capacity of member states to be able to deliver better on women, peace and security. As you know, it has 4 pillars, that is prevention, protection, participation, and also relief and recovery. So we've been working together with member states to build their capacity on that, to create a platform where they can share their different experiences, best practices as well. We have specifically in the Sudan conflict, we are now currently working together to bring women and the media later this month to just shed light on the challenges the women of Sudan are facing. Yeah, because the situation is really bad.
I'm sure you have interacted with women in Sudan. You've talked about the many women and children in Kakuma and the refugees.